recent news, talking through some NFL stuff, I guess. I don't know how deep we want to get into the Bears talk or anything, but I will say to you guys, Pete and Drew, we had lunch after yesterday's event, and it definitely made my mental health about the game much better to get to hash it out with you guys, and just kind of sulk a little bit and just rehash the season, the team. But I know from my perspective, I'm just super grateful that we actually got to see a fun year. You know, looking back on it, we didn't really know what to expect when the season started. I know I didn't have super high expectations, and I don't know that really any of us did when we talked about it at the beginning of the year, but it was such a fun season to get to be a fan of and watch. And I'm super excited for, the team going forward, Ben and Caleb going forward. So that's really all I'll probably touch on with it. But yeah, just a fun season as a whole.
What would you guys grade his year? I saw this going around Twitter yesterday, like giving him like a letter grade. And I was like going deep down a rabbit hole in my own thoughts of like it has to be like an A plus because like at the beginning of the year, I would have been happy with 7 and 10 and signs of like a bright future, and then like 8 and 9 would have been great. That was like what I said they were gonna be was like 8 or 9, 8 wins or 9 wins. I would have been happy with that. So I think like they far exceeded expectations and like I don't think like in a Super Bowl would have like some people were saying that's the only way to get A plus, but like with where they were at, they won 3 games the year before. How many what the games did they win? 5. Like it was like that's an A plus in my book.
Yeah, I don't know grade wise what I would give him, but it certainly would be awesome. um, I mean, that was an incredible year. I'm just super sad to be done watching Bears football now until next fall. So many good Sundays, so many good games. They were the most exciting team in the NFL. I and kind of like what you're saying, Pete. Like I was thinking back to early on in the season when we would talk about the Bears. I was pretty sure, like I just said, like man, I just want to make sure we have the right guy at the helm, and like to make sure that he's our quarterback. And I don't think those two questions could have been answered any more firmly, throughout the course of the year and the playoffs and some of those some of those plays by Caleb, those fourth down throws are gonna forever be etched in my mind. A lot of just memorable games this year. It was crazy what they did, all the comebacks and the fact that they were in every game and pushed the Rams to the brink. And man, they had so many chances. And I think that's talking through the game yesterday, Gavin, just like rehashing how many short yardage chances they had and just didn't capitalize. It hurts, man. It like really hurts because I want them to still be playing. But no, overall, it was a great year. But I'm definitely still like not like I haven't flushed it yet.
Yeah.
Definitely still hurts, and I think I saw Caleb Williams was at the Blackhawks game last night with PCA, and like the ovation that he got was so cool. Really, really fires me up. Like he is fully entrenched now as like Bear fans and just Chicago fans are gonna absolutely love that guy and Ben Johnson. Really cool to see. And then I don't know if you guys saw it, but like Jonathan Taves, the tribute that he got was one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. Like shout out to Blackhawk fans out there giving him the ovation that he deserved. Like they wouldn't let it stop. They made him go around the ring constantly, and like he finally was like over it. Like he's like, this is too much. I love it because I lived those 2010 to 2020 season, like that decade of just Blackhawks awesome hockey. And he was the heart and soul of that team. And man, it really started to change when they drafted him and then got Kane and then Hossa and all that stuff. So a lot of cool things in Chicago recently. But yeah, sad we're not going to see the Bears. I can't wait to see what they do in the offseason. It's going to be really fun to see, like free agency. Who do they keep? Who do they let go? What do they do in the draft? How do they fill the holes? And also, like, what is this coaching staff going to look like? I already saw Eric Bieniemy got plucked. Like when you're good like the Bears were, like you're probably going to lose some assistants. So very, very curious to see what happens in between now and next season. But awesome year. Just sad to see it not, no more Sundays to look forward to here in the near future.
I mean, as long as we keep Dennis Allen, I'll be cool. But I'm glad you brought up the Jonathan Taves thing because like Caleb and PCA were at that game, so like they got to see how a city treats a legend like that, and those are two up and coming stars in Chicago. So I bet you they were coming away from that like, wow, like this is what it can be like if we like, you know, do what these people like, think we're gonna do. Like I think that had to have been really cool for them.
One thing that I think is cool with all that too, I was thinking about last night when I saw that picture, is like the young like talent and superstars in Chicago right now, like throughout these past few months, even with the Cubs being in the playoffs, like they all rallied around each other and it seems like they're kind of tight. You know, you got a guy like PCA with the Cubs, you have Bedard with the Blackhawks, you have Williams with the Bears, and then even like the Bulls have Chicago area. I think he went to Hinsdale Central. Matas Buzelis. I'm probably saying his name wrong. I'm not a big NBA guy,
Man,
but
just
I
crushed
know
that. I
he's like,
wasn't sure if you were gonna go for it or not. Yeah,
yeah, no, I
legit.
tried it, but yeah, he's like an up and coming guy with the Bulls. Like I feel like I'm not super with it with the White Sox. I apologize, but I feel like there's just so much young talent in the city to where like in the coming years, as long as these guys stay with the teams and the teams, you know, pay them, like hopefully for a long time, Chicago is just going to have great sports all around, not just baseball or basketball, whatever it may be. Like it seems like the future is bright.
Man, I hope so, and I think you're right. Like it's trending in the right direction. So to see PCA and Caleb like kicking it at the game, I thought was really cool. Like not only are they going to the game and like supporting the Cubs or supporting the Bears, but like they're actually hanging out the day after like they got knocked out. Like that had to be hard for Caleb to go out in public after that game. But to shower him with that love was so cool. And then like Alex Bregman immediately like all in on all Chicago sports. He was at like everything. He was at a Bears game. He was at a Hawks game. Like super cool to see him just like like I don't know the right word for it, but ingrain himself with this city. So yeah, man, there's so much passion for sports, and it's such a good sports town. To see this starting to trend the way it should is super cool.
Another thing to touch on too is last night's Indiana or like the national championship game, Indiana winning. Like that's absurd. Just I know we talked about it last week, but just what they were able to do. And I thought Signetti after the game when he got interviewed was awesome. He basically said something along the lines of like basically no one really believed that it could happen, but we just did it, you know. I proved that you can do it essentially, and I don't know, that was just a fun team to follow, like just as a Big Ten fan, really. So cool to see that. And I mean, tides were shifted in college football. I think no longer SEC.
Gives me hope. Northwestern Wildcats are just one coach away from the Natty, apparently. So,
And they're getting a new like brand new facility. Were you the one saying that like they're building the stadium specifically too to
who's that?
keep the
Northwestern?
noise in to make it like super loud? Am I right on that?
Yeah, it's exactly where Ryan Field used to be, and they're engineering it. I'm sure they have a couple good engineers lying around that school, to like kind of be a partial dome, and it's gonna like keep the noise in. It's gonna be a smaller stadium. I think the old Ryan used to be like 40,000 ish, and they would never fill it out, obviously. And I think this one's gonna be like more in the 25 ish range, so kind of smaller, but they're gonna
Interesting.
keep the noise in. So
Well, I didn't watch the whole national championship game. I'm sure you guys watched more of it than I did, but just from what I saw to Miami, count me in like all the way on that Malachi Tony. Um, I don't, is he young? Did I hear he's only like 18 or something?
Yeah, I
And
think I'm
He was a senior, or he should be a
99%.
senior,
Malachi
right?
Tony? No, I'm
Right?
pretty sure he was a freshman. He was a true freshman.
Right,
I,
but he should be a senior in high school.
oh,
Oh,
All
yeah,
right, maybe
he
I didn't
probably.
word that right, but I'm
I
pretty
thought
sure
you
he like
meant senior in
reclassed.
college, and I was like,
No,
no, I'm
sorry,
pretty
sorry.
sure he's a
Yeah,
freshman. Sorry.
like
Yes.
I cannot wait to see what that guy does because he's already like to me, I would think if he was draft eligible would be a top five type of impact pick. Like that guy, every time I watched him, he looked like he was doing something electric on the field. But no, super cool story for Indiana. One of the coolest stories, like Steve Nielsen. He like basically is the VP of all baseball stuff here with Prep Baseball. Went to Indiana and is a Bears fan. Like that combination is super cool. He's had a great couple months here watching the revival of Indiana, the Bears playing much better. So I know he was a happy camper today and last night. But yeah, like for the Big Ten, it's really cool to see, and just for any school that gets the right coach and pours resources into their program, anything can happen. So, um, really, really cool to see. And I know a lot of these NFL openings. I think that's another thing like to talk about is just it is crazy, like the cutthroat business of the NFL. And how many openings there are. Like, are there even enough candidates out there to fill some of these jobs? Like the Bills firing McDermott. I've heard mixed reviews on that. It sounded like the players were not happy, but that one caught me off guard a little bit. So a lot of jobs open. I know some have been filling, but really, really interesting to see where some of these jobs go.
We'd love to see Matt Eberflus take over that defensive coordinator opening in Green Bay.
Careful what you wish for, but I hear you. I hear you. He's going to have some good. Whoever takes that job is going to have some good pieces to work with up there. That's for sure. Especially if Parsons gets healthy.
This might not mean much to you guys. Maybe Drew, just with the ties to Green Bay and Wisconsin a little bit. But I saw on Twitter that a sneaky candidate could be Jim Leonard, who is with the Broncos right now. And he used to be the Badgers defensive coordinator. After Paul Chris got fired, he took over for like 6 games, I think, a couple of years ago. And I think he was with the Bears for a little bit, or maybe Illinois. I think he was with Illinois for a bit after Wisconsin because he didn't get retained as the head coach. They ended up hiring Luke Fickell. But I know a lot of people always talked about Leonard being one of the best defensive coordinators in college football. So I don't know. As a Bears fan, hopefully he doesn't go to Green Bay, but who knows? We'll see.
No, isn't he like a Wisconsin legend?
Yeah, he's from some
Make a
small
lot of
town in
sense.
Wisconsin, played at Wisconsin. He wanted, I think there was something along the lines of he wanted a job at Green Bay years ago, and he didn't end up getting hired. And I think there was some I don't know how true it is, but maybe some anger or something that he had at the time for not getting hired on the staff or something. But yeah.
Well, it sounds like he's putting in his time, like building up his resume.
Yeah.
You said he's with the Broncos now?
Yeah, I was looking last night. I want to say he's like an associate head coach and like defensive backs coach or something.
Okay. Well, that's a heck of a defense they got over there.
Yeah.
Kind of a shame that Bo Nix gets hurt. We're not going to see. I mean, who knows? I'm sure they'll still compete. Like Sean Payton's going to find a way. But it was setting up to be a heck of a game with 2 really, really good young quarterbacks. Like that quarterback class of Caleb Williams, what was that, 2024? Like it is crazy how many good quarterbacks were in that class. And Bo Nix and Drake May, having a chance to go at it would have been really, really cool to see. But yeah, you hate, at least for me, like I hate to see that a game like that would be impacted. It reminds me of when Brock Purdy got hurt. In that, he couldn't even throw the ball. And it's just like, all right, this just immediately didn't become a game. But, yeah, we'll see what happens with the Broncos moving forward. But that's an interesting nugget there on Jim Leonard. I did not hear that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, though.